Good morning. Today I'm gonna talk about the peace conference. These conferences was a strategy of the League of Nations to the nations to reduce their radio of ships and to stop the armamental race. There were three of the most important peace conferences. That was the Washington Naval Conference, Geneva Naval Conference, and London Naval Conference. Talking about the Washington Naval Conference, it was developed in the year 1921 until the year 1922, where the world's largest naval powers joined in Washington for a discussion of naval disarmament and ways to relieve growing tensions in East Asia. The U.S. Secretary Charles Evans Hughes invites 9 nations to discuss naval reduction and the situation in Far East. These nations were Great Britain, Japan, France, and Italy that were invited to take part in talks of reduction of naval capacity. Belgium, China, Netherlands, and Portugal were invited to join on a discussion for talking about the situation in the Far East. Continue with another naval conference. There is the Geneva Naval Conference that was developed in the year of 1927, where US, Great Britain, and Japan discussed the limitations to their naval capacities. This conference was a failure because the parties did not reach an agreement and the naval arms race continued unbeaten after the conference. US and Great Britain do not agree the terms. The failure of this conference can be attributed to the inability of the United States and Great Britain to come to terms related to the issue, because one or both sides have to make substantial compromises to solve the problems. Finally, the London Naval Conference takes part in the year of 1930s. This was the last meeting of 3 with the purpose of placing limits on the naval capacity of world powers. This was the most successful conference, getting gains for the disarmament cause. The purpose of this meeting was to promote disarmament in the wake of devastation of the First World War. The specific object of this conference was to nations to reduce the radio of ships and stop armamental race. In conclusion, all these conferences were a kind of failure, because the nations that promote the idea of disarmament were the first in the Soviet to this rule, establishing states of isolationism that were basically excuses for giving rules and not obey them. Like in the case of the United States, that proposed the disarmament in the Woodrow Wilson 14 points, and then started into a state of isolationism. Also, the countries that proposed this plan of disarmament do this with the intention of getting an equality statement in naval power with countries that were in a good position in that time. Thanks.